Harley just made a move no one expected, and it's sending shockwaves through the motorcycle world. On the surface, it looks like a simple launch, but behind the scenes, something much bigger is brewing. Stick around. This could be the beginning of Harley's biggest transformation yet. Harley-Davidson just released a brand new bike for $9,999. Sounds like a sweet deal, but don't be fooled. This wasn't just some generous move on their part. It happened because they had no other choice. The motorcycle industry is currently navigating through a perfect storm of challenges, and even the biggest names in the game are struggling. Want to know why? Let's break it down. First came the demographic cliff. Baby boomers, Harley's bread and butter for decades, are aging out of riding. Meanwhile, millennials and Gen Z weren't exactly lining up to drop $20,000 or more on heavyweight cruisers. The math was simple and brutal. Without new blood, Harley was facing extinction. Then there was the competition. Indian motorcycles resurrected with vengeance, offering comparable American-made cruisers at competitive prices. Japanese manufacturers like Honda and Kawasaki doubled down on their cruiser offerings with bikes like the Rebel 1100 and Vulcan S, modern machines with attractive price points that made Harley's lineup look overpriced and outdated. Harley was backed into a corner. Their stock was sliding. Dealerships were closing. The writing was on the wall: adapt or die. What seemed like a desperate move turned out to be a genius play. Harley's bold shift to Thailand didn't just rattle the industry, it redefined the game. Stay tuned, because this twist is as surprising as it is revolutionary. What most riders don't realize is that Harley's ability to offer the Nightster at $9,999 didn't happen overnight. It was the culmination of a controversial but brilliant manufacturing strategy that began years ago. In 2018, Harley made the difficult decision to move some production overseas to Thailand. The backlash was immediate. Critics called it un-American. Loyalists felt betrayed. But Harley's leadership saw something others didn't: a global chess game where manufacturing location was just one move in a much larger strategy. By establishing production in Thailand, Harley accomplished three critical objectives. First, they dodged the crippling tariffs imposed on American motorcycles in European and Asian markets, tariffs that had made Harleys prohibitively expensive overseas. Second, they gained access to a supply chain that could produce quality components at a fraction of US costs. Third, and most importantly, they created the financial flexibility to do what seemed impossible: bring an American icon back to its roots with a sub-$10,000 price tag. This wasn't outsourcing for the sake of profit margins. It was strategic positioning that allowed Harley to fight back in the market segment they had abandoned: the entry-level, accessible American cruiser. The Nightster at $9,999 isn't just competitive, it's a statement. And that statement is clear. Harley-Davidson is back in the game of making motorcycles for the working class. Harley's known for power and craftsmanship, but the Revolution Max engine is taking it to a whole new level. Bigger, bolder, and built to thrill. Don't blink, because the ride is just getting started. At the heart of Harley's comeback strategy is something that deserves far more attention than it's getting: the Revolution Max engine platform. This isn't just another V-twin. It's the most significant engineering achievement from Milwaukee in decades. The liquid-cooled Revolution Max 975T, powering the Nightster, delivers 90 horsepower and 70 foot-pounds of torque. Numbers that would have been unthinkable in Harley's old air-cooled platforms. But raw power isn't what makes this engine special. What makes it revolutionary is its versatility. The same basic architecture powers everything from the Pan America adventure bike to the Sportster S to the Nightster. This modular approach allows Harley to spread development costs across multiple models while tailoring each engine to its specific application. Revolution Max does something even more important. It delivers a riding experience that feels authentically Harley, while addressing all the shortcomings of their traditional power plants. It runs cooler, it's more efficient, It meets emission standards without compromise, and it does all this while still delivering that distinctive V-twin character that riders expect. By building the Nightster around this engine and pricing it at $9,999, Harley has created something unprecedented. A modern, high-performance American motorcycle that's actually attainable for the average rider. You're probably wondering, how can selling a bike for less make Harley more money? Stick around, the twist is bigger than you think. When Harley sells a $25,000 Road Glide, they might make $5,000 to $7,000 in profit per unit. But they're selling to an increasingly limited pool of buyers, primarily existing Harley owners with the financial means to afford such a purchase. Now consider the Nightster at $9,999. The profit margin per unit is smaller, perhaps $2,000 to $3,000. But here's where it gets interesting. At this price point, Harley can potentially sell 3 to 4 times as many units. But the real genius is in the long game. A rider who enters the Harley ecosystem with a Nightster doesn't just buy a motorcycle, they buy into a lifestyle. They purchase Harley-branded gear. They service their bikes at Harley dealerships. They attend Harley events. And most importantly, they often trade up to more expensive models as their income grows and their riding preferences evolve. This is why the $9,999 Nightster isn't just a desperate move to boost sales. It's a strategic investment in Harley's future customer base. And the early numbers suggest it's working. Dealerships report increased floor traffic, with many Nightsters being sold to first-time Harley buyers. It wasn't the Japanese or European giants that finally got under Harley's skin. It was the thunderous rise of India's motorcycle powerhouse that jolted them into action. Stick with us, because what happened next will change the game forever. Nothing motivates like competition, and no competitor has pushed Harley harder than Indian motorcycles. Since its revival under Polaris in 2011, Indian has been methodically targeting Harley's market share with a simple formula: offer comparable or superior motorcycles at competitive prices. Indian didn't just compete on price, they competed on innovation. While Harley was slow to modernize their lineup, Indian introduced features like selectable riding modes, LED lighting, and sophisticated electronics across their range. This wasn't just competition, it was an existential threat, and it forced Harley to confront an uncomfortable truth. Their premium pricing strategy was pushing riders into the arms of their most direct competitor. The Nightster is Harley's direct response to this threat. By undercutting the Scout's price point while offering comparable performance and technology, Harley has effectively neutralized Indian's primary advantage. It's a classic competitive move, and one that demonstrates Harley's renewed focus on market realities rather than brand mystique. Harley-Davidson dealerships were once a forgotten relic, gathering dust. Until now. What's happening next is nothing short of a revival, turning empty showrooms into buzzing community hubs where riders come together like never before. Stay tuned, because this transformation is about to blow your mind. If you've walked into a Harley dealership in the past few years, you might have noticed something concerning: emptiness. Once bustling social hubs filled with prospective buyers, many dealerships had become quiet showrooms with more staff than customers. The problem was simple. Without affordable entry points, new riders weren't coming through the doors. And without new riders, the entire ecosystem began to collapse. Parts and service departments saw declining business. Apparel sales dropped. Events drew smaller crowds. The $9,999 Nightster is changing this dynamic almost overnight. Dealerships report a 30 to 40% increase in floor traffic since the pricing announcement. More importantly, they're seeing a different kind of customer: younger, often first-time riders who previously wouldn't have considered a Harley. The transformation goes beyond business metrics. Dealerships are reclaiming their role as community gathering spots, places where riders connect, share experiences, and build the relationships that keep them in the sport. This social dimension of motorcycling has always been Harley's secret weapon, and the affordable Nightster is helping to restore it. Harley-Davidson ignored an entire generation. Now winning them over isn't just smart, it's survival. This bold move could make or break the brand, and trust me, you'll want to see how it plays out. This demographic challenge wasn't just about sales, it threatened the very future of the brand. Without younger riders entering the fold, Harley risked becoming a nostalgic relic rather than a living, evolving motorcycle company. The Nightster directly addresses this existential threat. Early sales data shows that the average buyer of the Nightster is 38 years old, 13 years younger than the typical Harley customer. Even more encouraging, approximately 30% of Nightster buyers are new to motorcycling entirely. This youth movement brings multiple benefits. First, younger riders typically have longer customer lifetimes, meaning more opportunities for repeat sales and upgrades. Second, they're more active on social media, creating organic marketing as they share their Harley experiences online. Third, they bring fresh energy and perspectives to riding clubs and events, revitalizing the community aspects of the brand. Perhaps most importantly, younger riders help shift public perception of Harley-Davidson from a brand for aging boomers to one that's relevant across generations. This perception shift is crucial for long-term brand health. By making the Nightster accessible to younger riders, Harley isn't just selling motorcycles, they're securing their future. And the early indicators suggest this strategy is working exactly as intended. Harley's global push isn't just about conquering roads overseas, it's sparking an unexpected comeback right here at home. And trust me, the payoff is already turning heads. Stick around. You'll want to see how this bold strategy is rewriting the rules. International markets now represent approximately 40% of Harley's total sales, a significant increase from just a decade ago when foreign sales accounted for less than 30% of their business. This international growth hasn't happened by accident. It's the result of deliberate strategic decisions. This is why the Nightster isn't just a US phenomenon. It's priced competitively in markets from Europe to Asia to Australia. By thinking globally while acting locally, Harley has created a sustainable business model that allows for aggressive pricing in their home market without sacrificing profitability. This global-local balance represents a new chapter in Harley's business approach, one that leverages international opportunities to strengthen their position in the American market they helped create. Think you know Harley-Davidson? Think again. What's coming next isn't just bold. It's a total game-changer that will redefine the future of motorcycles forever. The Nightster is just the beginning. Industry insiders and reliable sources suggest Harley is planning a comprehensive realignment of their lineup with affordability as a core principle. Here's what we're hearing about Harley's roadmap for the next 24 months. A new entry-level model positioned below the Nightster, potentially reviving the iconic iron nameplate with a smaller Displacement Revolution Max engine and a price point around $8,500. Expanded Nightster variants, including a cafe racer style and a more touring-oriented version with light luggage capabilities, all maintaining the sub-$12,000 price range. A mid-sized American bagger based on the Revolution. Max 1250 platform, designed to offer the essential Harley touring experience at approximately $15,000, significantly less than current touring models. Refreshed Sportster S and Pan America models with enhanced features while maintaining current price points, demonstrating Harley's commitment to value across segments. These moves would create a comprehensive ladder of affordability, allowing riders to enter the Harley ecosystem at various price points and gradually move up as their preferences and budgets evolve. The $9,999 Nightster isn't a one-off promotion or a desperate measure. It's the first step in a comprehensive reimagining of what Harley-Davidson can be in the modern motorcycle market. Harley-Davidson is making bold moves, and riders are all in. Sales are climbing, the vibe is shifting, and what's coming next. It could be the biggest win in Harley's history. Stick around to find out how this changes everything, for the brand and for you. Beyond the business metrics and Wall Street reactions, the most telling indicator of the Nightster's success is the response from the riding community itself. And that response has been overwhelmingly positive. Online forums and social media groups dedicated to Harley-Davidson are buzzing with activity from new Nightster owners. Instagram and TikTok are filled with proud first-time owners showcasing their bikes and sharing their experiences. What's particularly striking is the diversity of these new Harley riders. They span age groups, genders, and backgrounds in ways that the traditional Harley demographic never did. Women riders, in particular, are embracing the Nightster in unprecedented numbers. Beneath the roar of the engines and the gleam of chrome lies a secret few ever see. Harley's manufacturing isn't just efficient, it's a precision-crafted miracle fueling the legend. Stick around, because what happens behind the scenes will leave you speechless. How is Harley able to offer the Nightster at just $9,999 without cutting corners or losing money? The answer could change everything you thought you knew about the industry. The answer lies in a complete reimagining of their manufacturing and supply chain approach, one that leverages global resources while maintaining the essence of what makes a Harley a Harley. First, there's the modular platform strategy. The Revolution Max engine that powers the Nightster shares approximately 70% of its components with other engines in the family. This commonality creates enormous economies of scale, allowing Harley to negotiate better supplier pricing and amortize development costs across multiple models. Second, Harley has embraced strategic global sourcing. Components that don't directly impact the riding experience or brand identity are sourced from the most cost-effective global suppliers. Third, Harley's Thailand facility is a blueprint for modern manufacturing excellence. Designed from scratch with cutting-edge production methods, it delivers around 25% higher productivity than the company's older U.S. plants, all while matching them in quality. Finally, Harley has simplified the Nightster's design without compromising its essential character. By focusing on what riders truly value – engine performance, handling, styling, and eliminating costly features that don't enhance the core experience, they've created a motorcycle that delivers the authentic Harley feeling without unnecessary frills. The result is a motorcycle that's both more affordable and, in many ways, more authentically Harley than some of their higher-priced offerings. This isn't just business. It's a revival of the soul that made Harley-Davidson an American icon. They're tapping into something much bigger, and this emotional comeback will hit harder than any marketing pitch. For decades, Harley represented freedom, rebellion, and accessibility. It was the bike of choice for working-class heroes, for people who valued independence and authenticity over status and luxury. Somewhere along the way, as prices climbed and the customer base narrowed, that essential connection began to fade. The $9,999 Nightster signals a reconnection with those foundational values. It's not just affordable, it's honest. It delivers the raw, visceral experience that defined Harley without the pretense that had begun to surround the brand. Social media campaigns feature real riders rather than models. Events focus on riding and camaraderie rather than exclusive experiences. Dealerships are encouraged to be gathering places for all riders, not just those who can afford the premium models. This shift isn't just good marketing, it's good business. By reconnecting with what made Harley special in the first place, they're rebuilding the emotional connection that sustained the brand through previous challenges. They're reminding riders why Harley-Davidson matters beyond specifications and status. The future of motorcycling isn't some distant vision. It's here today. This bold move could flip everything you thought you knew about the industry. What comes next might just redefine the ride. For decades, the conventional wisdom has been that motorcycles, particularly American motorcycles, would inevitably become more expensive, more exclusive, and more niche. The Nightster shatters that assumption, proving that with the right approach, iconic brands can remain accessible to ordinary riders. This shift comes at a critical moment for motorcycling as a whole. With younger generations increasingly concerned about transportation costs, environmental impact, and authentic experiences, motorcycles should be having a renaissance. The only thing holding them back has been accessibility, both in terms of price and approachability. By addressing both concerns simultaneously, offering an affordable motorcycle with modern features that's designed to be manageable for riders of all sizes and experience levels, Harley is potentially catalyzing a broader revival of motorcycle culture. For Harley-Davidson, this cultural shift represents the ultimate validation of their strategy. Beyond the sales numbers and financial metrics, they're rebuilding the foundation of motorcycle culture itself, ensuring not just their own future, but the future of an entire lifestyle. If you've stayed this far, you're clearly invested in the future of motorcycling and American manufacturing. So what does Harley's bold move mean for you? The Nightster isn't just a motorcycle. It's Harley's most profitable decision in years. More than that, it's a movement. A return to the raw freedom that made motorcycling iconic, now made accessible to a whole new generation of riders. Before you make your next big decision, ask yourself, is this brand built for the future or just hanging on? Click the next video on the screen right now, because what's about to unfold could completely reshape your perspective. Don't miss it!